Hello, everyone. Welcome to a brand new month and a brand new episode on my podcast, Monday Morning News. Today's topic is something that we can all relate to, our home. Did it make you smile? It for sure makes me smile, big or small. Home is our safe space. It's our little cocoon where we can linger around in our loungewear without being judged. But of late, there are a lot of options for our homes. The competition amongst the builders and the real estate developers are so much that they are ready to go to any extent to customize our dream home. And I have lived in individual houses, apartments, and gated community. Each one has its own advantages and its own style, but each of them is an experience of its own kind, right? During my early childhood, I used to live in individual houses. But to my advantage, I had people of almost my same age, so I could spend my after school hours playing or discussing the funny incidents at school that day. Also, I had friends from my own school in the same locality, so it was easy for us to connect. It was not that boring as far as I recollect. Then we later shifted to an apartment, and luckily, I got two friends who are of my age. We picked up the rapport, and from then to now, we are such good friends. And even if there were minor age differences during weekends or short holidays, we all played around together. Throughout the day, we used to sit in the shade and play snake and ladder or cards or Uno. And let's not forget the little fights when your friends peep into your cards. And post our tea break was when our actual playing starts. Hide and seek, Coco, shuttle, seven stones. We played it all. I don't remember the name of this game, but it used to go like this: drawing seven boxes, and we had to close our eyes facing up to the sky and cross each box without stamping on the borders. And while we cross each box, we ask, right, and the other person says, right. Around dinner time, when our moms called, we used to say, 30 minutes, Amma, and continue playing. This went on until our mom's tone shifted from calling to screaming. And immediately after dinner, we used to rush back to continue our games. It was so much fun. Now we have healthy snacks like makana and nuts, but during those days it was just biscuits and milk or tea. And whatever was our snack, we get the entire pack for the clan. We used to share the munchies while discussing what game to play next. And after this big apartment, I moved to a smaller apartment with just 8 houses. And to be honest, 5 of those 8 houses were our family. We still are family friends. We have kids who are of almost the same age now, and they visit us with kids even today. It was almost like living in a huge joint family while in that apartment. Our parents were all trying to make ends meet, so if any financial crisis during the month end, we help each other. No gas, we used to exchange cylinders to make sure that every kid has food on their plate. During festivals or any other special days, delicacies were shared within the apartment. There were three Malayalis and two Tamil families. So for Onam or Vishu, we would give our specials like Palada Payasam or Neyyapam. And during Tamil festivals like Deepavali, we used to get tattais and adirasams. And one uncle from those Tamil families is an exceptional cook. Me and my sister till today literally fight for his hot vadas during the Amavasais. One of the aunties next door and me, we used to go to temples very often, at least once a week. She had a son, but the people around thought I was her daughter. That's the kind of closeness we had. Even today, we frequently visit each other. My mom and she talk to each other on calls on regular intervals so much that they both know each other's extended families and their relatives by names. And the other family that I said, of the three Mallu apartments, I introduced that uncle as my own uncle to everyone. He is more than a family member to me. He has been a brother to my dad throughout his tough times, including saving his life once when he went to Sabarimala. And his son almost grew up in our house. That's the kind of bonding and relationship we had in that apartment. Anyone can go to any house without having to knock the door, and the legacy continues. My grandma still lives in that apartment, and we visit her almost every weekend. My son now goes to all the houses there without having to think or know who they are. To him, they are all one family. And from this apartment, we moved to a community living until we got our individual house constructed. Such a vast difference. It had blocks from A to W with around 13 floors each. We stayed on the 11th floor with amazing view of the sea, and there were only 4 apartments in each floor. I know with such a huge crowd, knowing everyone will be difficult, but of the other 3 apartments in our floor, one auntie used to talk to my mom once in a while. The other 2 families, trust me, I didn't even know them even until I left there. The doors remained locked all the time. Me and my sister used to go to office, and my dad used to go to the construction site of our new home. My mom stayed there all alone throughout the day watching the beach. We had kept a maid temporarily to assist my mom during her knee replacement physio days, but she was feeling so lonely that we made the maid permanent. And my mom loved being in the kitchen, so she finished all her kitchen work before the maid came. And once the maid comes, my mom gives her fresh juice, and my mom will watch the serial the maid watches along with her. Or she takes some rest before she goes to the next house for work. And how does my mom resonate this? She says, at least I know someone else is there in this big house and she's not alone. But yes, on weekends or the days I return early from office, me and my mom will go down for a stroll. There was a swimming pool with classes for the little ones. My mom, being a swimmer in her childhood days, she loved watching the kids learning and swimming. There were little stalls put up during festivities, though we did not have anyone to exchange our delicacies. So me and my mom will walk around the stalls and have some desserts as we both have a terrible sweet tooth. We had a mini supermarket inside, a gym, a huge park. So the need for going out of the flat itself was not necessary. And then we moved to our own individual house. Again, our own space, a few good neighbors, freedom to take decisions relating to the house by ourselves. Unlike the gated community where even if the water leaked to the neck level, they wouldn't allow a plumber from the outside. We'll have to wait for their regular plumber. But now my son doesn't have the kind of friends I still have from my childhood. Sometimes, above all the advantages of the individual house, I wish if we stayed in an apartment, my son would have had his own little clan to grow up with. Like I said, each a different experience on its own, with its own advantages and disadvantages. But here is the gist. We might have the freedom and our space in the new apartments sprawling the city, but let's at least be familiar with our neighbors. We never know when they will come of use. Expecting the bonding I had in one of the apartments in the current times, it's a big ask. Nobody has the time nowadays in the first place, but let's at least maintain a cordial relationship. At least let's greet each other when you see them on the hallway or during festivities. Drawing a boundary is okay, but constructing a wall, is it necessary? Let's think about it. Relationships are beautiful, especially if we know to respect each other's space and yet be warm to one another. Like I said in my previous episode, we hardly have 30k days in this world. During our stay here, let's gather people and make memories. That will stay even after we leave. Thank you for listening to this episode, and I hope you liked it. Did you have any such experience in your childhood and still relish them? Let me know in the comments box and request you to subscribe, like, and pin your comments on this episode. I will be back again next Monday with another episode of Monday Morning Muse. Until then, spread peace and take care. Lots of love.